This section of the Introduction to the Matter Innovation Hub will cover the program details. The program process includes an application, an evaluation by Matter to help clear requirements and expectations, securing a funding commitment that includes support for the full 3 years, and the actual placement, professional development, and that ongoing coaching. While technology is a big aspect of it, the big value is in helping an organization shift their instructional practices. This is really about change and change management. And we're coming in recognizing and purposely not trying to bring a perfect program. The organization, the people on the ground, are going to have significant ownership in this program. So not all problems are solved because no one location is going to be identical and have the same needs as another location. We will create boundaries. What can't be changed within it? What are the general concepts that we want to stay within? But then that leads to an opportunity for customization. Customization over consistency, but within the boundaries. We're going to focus on creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. We still expect the organization that's providing education services to still be focusing on their other curriculum and still working towards the standards that they are held accountable to. But with this particular program, we're going to look at some alternative assessments to the traditional exams to show student success. The program is really focused on providing authentic experiences and opportunities to promote student agency. There's a big commitment on the receiving organization for the leadership to commit to a transformational shift to student-centered instructional practices. We also realize that to be successful and have this long-term relationship, we do need someone who's identified as the full-time facilitator, and they do need to be fluent in English. One of the big shifts is to realize that in the Innovation Hub, we want to get away from the mindset of how many kids can you put in here, to switch the narrative to what are we trying to do, because the activity and the specific learners will determine the appropriate class size. If we're doing independent study with elementary school students, perhaps 25 students can go into the Innovation Hub. If we're doing hands-on activities and group work with young adults, we may limit that to 3 at a table to a total of 15 students. And that's a big shift from a model of education where it's a matter of how many people we can put into a room with one teacher. Speaking of teachers, this is a coaching program, a program to help facilitate teachers becoming more comfortable in a different style of instruction and comfortable at using technology. So a real goal here is, while we will have a facilitator, teachers will accompany their students so they'll have opportunities to grow as well as the students. We also have called this a hub for a reason. We'd like to see the facility have extended hours, support community programs. For instance, the Innovation Hub that's in Cité Soleil, Haiti, sits right next to a clinic, and the clinic staff are planning to use the Innovation Hub after school hours to offer healthcare-based classes, for instance, prenatal care information for expecting families, elderly care information, English to the local community, and other types of services. When we look at the actual technology being involved, we have to realize that to support the transformational learning experience, technology has to have certain capabilities. So when people look at why are you using this technology and why not that, I'd like to set the stage of what the technology has to be able to do to promote what we're trying to accomplish. First of all, a device management solution needs to be able to set a device up and be agile to change the device to meet the individual learner's or user's needs, automatically being able to assign information, automatically being able to assign content based on an individual's readiness and their pace. Privileges, device settings, access to a user based on their individual readiness, perhaps based on a digital citizenship program. Whereas one student may have earned the privilege to have certain resources, certain internet access, the camera, certain apps, while another student perhaps hasn't or maybe has lost that privilege. We want to be able to have that be agile, whereas a teacher can make recommendations or it can be based upon the student's need. Classroom management for teachers. In many cases, providing a tool for teachers to manage the devices is an extra cost that organizations don't choose to do. However, to bring teachers that may be reluctant or inexperienced using technology, especially bringing them into an environment where we're actually creating some chaos, we need to give them tools so that when they want to get the student's attention in a simple, easy manner. Transitions happen all throughout the day, and every transition can waste valuable class time and could also lead a teacher to not allowing certain activities due to the difficulty in regaining students' attention during transitions. So, a classroom management tool for teachers is vital. We also want to be able to do all the STEAM activities science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics regardless of whether we have the internet or not. I understand some programs will plan to put in internet, and I've been in organizations that think they have strong internet. The dilemma is we want the program to not have to rely on, and activities should be able to be run whether there's internet or not. And the need should be very minimal for internet. It would be great if programs can supply high quality, consistent bandwidth, and maybe programs will expand from the initial offering. However, we want to go into this not worrying about that. We also know that in this day and age, we've moved on from mouse input and basic keyboards. There's so many different affordances and input devices that touchscreens are a necessity to allow for dynamically linked representations of concepts. We want to provide the ability to connect the digital with the physical to allow for greater connection and understanding. There needs to be a system to allow wireless presentation. If we want to encourage student agency and a student being able to present from anywhere in the room, it needs to be easy and simple. Otherwise, it'll get in the way, cause confusion, and likely not happen. We want to avoid the class having to pause while someone plugs in a device. We need to be able to have more than one user per device. In fact, we want to be able to have 10 users per device. At the same time, we don't want to have to rely on internet to go get their information. It's crucial that their data is saved and they can pick up on activities where they left off to allow for that personalization, customization, and for their own pace. So we want data to be able to be cached on the device. Sure, occasionally they need to go get an update, or sometimes they may have to log into a device they haven't used, but we don't want to have to constantly rely on that internet connection. And also, the equipment that we're purchasing, that we're placing anywhere and all around the world, has to be designed and rugged for sustainability. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this introduction. I look forward to correspondence, asking questions, and a further discussion.